last week I started talking about removing our blinkers, and that's getting rid of those cognitive biases that can adversely impact our decision making, our planning, and our ability to be effective leaders. And I wanted this week to explore a few more of those biases, but also talk about how we can work to eradicate them, recognize them and eradicate them. And according to, let me just check this reference, the Cognitive Bias Codex, there are 180 cognitive biases, and that list is being updated all of the time. And I'll put the link in this week's newsletter because it's fascinating to look at the diagram of all these biases that we could be subject to. So I'm just touching the tip of the iceberg last week and this week in the biases that I'm talking about. Today I wanted to talk about recency bias. And this bias is giving credence to those things that you've seen or have occurred recently as opposed to those things that occurred some time ago. And this can adversely impact your ability to see the bigger picture. Not only what's happening now, but what has happened in the past. So learning from history, whether that's short term or long term. And recency bias can affect your decision or your performance review of an employee because you remember what they did recently as opposed to what they've done in the past. And that could be a good thing they've done recently or not so good. And you're judging them on that rather than overall performance. It can also impact your reflection on yourself. You could have a great week, but on Friday it was the worst day. Everything that could go wrong went wrong. And that's all that you remember because you have recency bias. And so you beat yourself up. You have a really bad weekend because of it. It can also affect decision making. If you are looking at a new technology, you may have been looking at different suppliers and products over a period of time. But with recency bias, the tendency is that you will favour the product or the technology platform that you saw most recently and not be able to have a bigger picture of everything that you've seen over a given period of time.